The galaxy is vast. I have traveled to many worlds, fought many battles, and faced countless enemies, but none haunts my memories like the day I encountered a human sniper. My name is Captain Xalen Drak'nar of the Vre'huhl Empire, and I was once proud of my many victories. Today, I tell you a tale not as a conqueror, but as a survivor. It all began on Trevoria 9, a barren wasteland at the edge of the galaxy. Our mission was clear: subdue a band of rebels who had fled to the planet's harsh surface, where dust storms raged and the terrain was jagged and unforgiving. Our intelligence was certain. They were human, a recently inducted species into the Galactic Council. Primitive, yes, but known for their adaptability. We didn't expect much trouble. The moment we landed, I had an unsettling feeling. The air was thick with sand, and the winds howled through the canyon walls like 1,000 unseen voices. But I brushed it off. We had an advantage: superior numbers, technology, and firepower. We deployed our forces along the canyon ridge, surrounding the rebel encampment hidden deep within the rocky crevices. At first, everything seemed under control. My troops spread out, scouting the area, using our advanced sensors to detect any movement. But the sandstorm was wreaking havoc on our equipment, interfering with our vision and communications. That's when we heard it. Crack! A single shot echoed through the canyon, cutting through the storm like lightning. I turned to see one of my soldiers, Garthak, fall to the ground, lifeless. A hole had been punched clean through his chest, right through his armor. We didn't know where the shot came from. Our sensors detected nothing, and even the advanced targeting systems couldn't pinpoint any heat signatures. "Stay low," I shouted. "Find cover." But another shot rang out, and Clathrin, our heavy gunner, collapsed next. In a matter of seconds, 2 of my finest warriors were dead, and we still hadn't seen our enemy. It was then that I realized we weren't dealing with an ordinary human rebel. This was something far worse. This was a sniper. I ordered my troops to hunker down, to scan every inch of the surrounding terrain. But the sniper was patient, calculated. He struck at random intervals, always precise, always fatal. One by one, my soldiers fell, each shot more unnerving than the last. The storm masked his location, but it didn't seem to hinder his ability to find us. He was using the terrain, the storm, everything around us to his advantage. Hours passed. We tried everything: decoys, drones, countermeasures, but nothing worked. He saw through every trick we used. He anticipated every move we made. My troops were shaken, their confidence shattered. These were seasoned warriors, used to facing overwhelming odds, but this was different. We were being hunted by a single human. The fear in the air was palpable. My remaining soldiers huddled in small groups, terrified to so much as raise their heads above the rocks. I could see it in their eyes. They were beginning to lose hope. And so was I. I had to do something. With what little strength I had left, I ordered my men to retreat deeper into the canyon, where the narrow passageways would limit his line of sight. It was a desperate move, but the only option left. We began moving, sticking close to the walls, keeping low. But even then, the sniper followed us. He shot through the smallest cracks, the narrowest gaps in the rocks. His precision was beyond anything I'd ever seen. One by one, my forces were reduced to nothing. I could hear the quiet thuds as each of my warriors fell, leaving me alone in the eerie silence of the canyon. I couldn't take it anymore. I shouted into the emptiness, "Who are you? What do you want?" For a long moment, there was no response, only the howling wind. Then, out of the dust and shadow, I saw him. He emerged like a ghost, his figure barely visible through the storm. He wore worn-out combat armor, dusted over by the storm. His helmet was cracked, but one sharp, cold eye stared through the visor, gleaming in the dim light. His rifle, a weapon that looked primitive compared to ours, was held with an unnatural stillness, as if it were an extension of his own body. He approached me slowly, confidently, until he was close enough that I could see the details of his face behind the visor. Calm, focused, devoid of emotion. He looked down at me, and for the first time in my life, I felt true terror. "You came to hunt us," he said, his voice low and steady. But you didn't understand what you were hunting, did you? I couldn't speak. I could barely breathe. You thought you could overpower us with your technology, your numbers, he continued. But a sniper doesn't need any of that. A sniper just needs patience. And you made it too easy. He raised his rifle, and for a moment, I thought my life would end right there. But instead, he hesitated. You'll live, he said, lowering the weapon. I want you to remember this day. I want you to tell the galaxy, that humans aren't to be underestimated. With that, he turned and disappeared back into the storm, leaving me alone in the canyon, surrounded by the bodies of my fallen comrades. I did survive that day, but only to carry the weight of that memory. I returned to my command, broken, haunted by the knowledge that a single human, one sniper, had decimated my entire force. They are not like other species. They are patient, they are precise, and they are relentless. So I stand here now before this council to tell you this: avoid humans if you can. But if you ever hear the crack of a sniper's rifle, pray that you never meet the one behind the scope.